Hi everyone, we hope you're enjoying the conference and it's great to be chatting to you today. I'm Lucy, VP of University Services, and I'm joined by our VP of Global Communications and Brand, Laura Rettie. Firstly, for those of you who haven't heard about us, we are Studee. We recruit international students from across the world. We use digital marketing to find qualified international students online, and then our NAFTA-trained study advisors create relationships with students and support them all the way through to enrolment. One of the standout reasons why universities work with us is that we can help them recruit a diverse population of international students, and the university only has one point of contact, which is us. We're also not afraid to address the elephant in the room in our industry, so how international education actually negatively affects our environment. Laura's here to give her insight into what universities can be doing to ensure that internationalisation still thrives, but with more of a focus on sustainability to reduce the impact onto the environment. Hi Laura, how are you?
Hi Lucy, I'm very well, how are you?
I'm good. So why is it important for universities to address this issue?
Well, simply put, we need universities. We need creative thinkers, communicators, problem solvers, entrepreneurs, researchers, scientists, and philosophers. And I literally can't think of a better place than a university to find all of these people under one roof. Across the globe, universities have research centres that produce knowledge on the climate crisis. And universities should be using their collective voices as a credible expert to provide evidence and actionable ways to change behaviours and then share their knowledge with everyone from parents to community activists to the world's leaders. You need to find a way to make your findings more accessible to the public and to policymakers, both locally and globally.
And what suggestions do you have for universities so they can start to implement some changes towards more sustainability?
So universities' approach to the climate crisis needs to be intrinsically woven into their strategic ambition, no matter what goals they're setting for themselves. They need to understand how it can be achieved in a sustainable way. It's not enough to have a separate environmental policy that sits in parallel, otherwise it risks being nothing but hot air. You need to create space for fundamental change in human behaviour, and you're only going to do that if the climate emergency is referred to, considered and made a priority with every single choice you make. If you're not even sure where to start, set yourself some emission reduction goals and agree who will be held accountable for those goals and how often we will report back on targets. Sustainable practices need to be woven into every single practical part of university life, whether that's catering, travel, building design, waste, cleaning, what contractors you're using to work with. And the other thing you can do is look at the consequences of doing nothing and prepare your students and staff by creating crisis plans for things like bushfires, floods, earthquakes, social unrest, famine. And it then makes it very, very difficult to ignore. By presuming the worst and preparing people for the worst, it gives extra incentives to prevent them because it makes it suddenly very, very real.
And who should be involved with this within the university?
Well, everyone, to find your influencers and make sure that they're likable people who are listened to. And it should be a collective thing as well. So call on university executives, board members, academic and non-academic staff, as well as students, to declare a climate emergency. Find the organisations, contractors, agents and businesses in your area looking to join up and create a culture of sustainability, because your voice will be much louder the more people you shout with. The way I like to liken this, Lucy, is I've got a good friend of mine in the UK here who's a director of a very famous charity. And the cause of the charity is to save vulnerable children, both here at home and abroad. Now, for every single decision my friend Kat makes, she has to weigh up whether spending money on something is worth it. That money she's holding is donated by people that have spent hours and hours doing things like, marathons and physical and mental torturous things in order to raise that money. And for every single penny she spends, she treats it like some kid has stood on the sidewalk selling lemonade for 10 minutes to raise it. That is literally how important it is. Now, for every single flight she steps foot on, she has to weigh up whether that flight will add enough value to the cause of the charity to make it worthwhile. Universities need to think of themselves like charities, but it's not money that's the currency, it's chunks of our natural world. So for every single decision that you make, you need to create a culture where people ask themselves, is this worth spending another chunk of the world's resources on?
I really like that idea of changing the mentality towards a charity mentality. So thank you so much, Laura. It's been really interesting and inspiring in a really short amount of time. So thank you. And I hope you, the audience, have had some good takeaways from this Q&A session. And if you'd like to chat further about the sustainability in our industry or what we do and how we recruit international students, you can email us at lucy@studee.com. So yeah, thank you for listening, everyone, and take care.